Russia is making a massive move to build its first major semiconductor fabrication plant, a high-stakes play to escape Western tech blockades. Today on Altitude Addicts, we are breaking down Project Volga, a brand new facility designed to pump out 55 to 40 nanometer microchips with the ultimate goal of hitting 28 nanometers. This is easily the most ambitious silicon manufacturing project the country has seen since the collapse of the Soviet Union. We are going to look at the secret 5-year plan, the unexpected industrial partners, and how Moscow is bypassing sanctions by forming a critical alliance with China. Stick around until the very end because we will uncover exactly how this factory impacts military hardware and global aerospace supply chains. The Volga facility will be built in the Innopolis Special Economic Zone near Kazan. If things go according to the official schedule, it will become the most sophisticated commercial semiconductor production facility on Russian soil. This entire initiative comes at a critical moment because Russia's domestic semiconductor sector is backed into a tight corner. Right now, local chip makers are forced to rely heavily on factory lines running on aging Western machinery bought back in the 2000s and early 2010s. Look, let's step back from the heavy tech jargon for a second and just look at the raw reality. Russia is basically trying to run a modern country on digital brains that are decades old, and that is a massive roadblock. These older setups only allow them to produce chips down to about the 90 nanometer node, which is a far cry from what modern hardware needs. To make matters worse, severe sanctions hit in 2022. These restrictions completely cut off access to new equipment from the United States, Europe, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. Because of this, Moscow had no choice but to completely reevaluate and modernize its semiconductor production. This reality brings us straight into a highly structured 5-year development plan. Instead of attempting a massive, unrealistic leap to cutting-edge tech, the strategy is to roll the project out in gradual, calculated phases. The immediate goal is to establish a commercially viable 55 to 40 nanometer production line first. Once that foundation is solid, they plan to introduce 28 nanometer manufacturing using essentially the exact same infrastructure. During the very first year, teams will focus entirely on building the physical structures and the massive supporting infrastructure. The second year shifts toward installing the sensitive fabrication machinery, qualifying the processes, and running pilot production lines. By the third year, the factory is scheduled to start full commercial production of processors using 40 to 55 nanometer technology. If everything holds together, a pilot 28 nanometer line will fire up in year 4, leading to mass serial production by the 5th year. Okay, time to look at the actual math behind this whole layout, because building a microchip factory from scratch is usually a great way to go completely broke. The brilliant hack here is that both of these chip generations will share a single, unified manufacturing line. By doing this, the massive capital investments made for the 40 to 55 nanometer phase can be directly repurposed for the advanced 28 nanometer run. This eliminates the need to build entirely separate cleanrooms, slashing construction expenses by an estimated 80% while easing the tech transition. Now, you might be wondering why 40 to 55 nanometer tech even matters in a world obsessed with 3 nanometer smartphone chips. According to the project documents, this specific tier of technology will actually satisfy a massive portion of Russia's urgent domestic demand. The planned product portfolio includes vital components like microcontrollers, application-specific integrated circuits, field programmable gate arrays, and advanced memory tech like MRAM and RRAM. It also covers analog integrated circuits, mixed-signal chips, sensors, interface controllers, and power management devices. These components are designed to directly support clients in the defense sector, telecommunications, industrial automation, transportation, and heavy energy infrastructure. In these specific fields, long-term reliability and ruggedness matter a whole lot more than having the absolute thinnest, flashiest silicon on the market. If you are just joining us here on Altitude Addicts, we are breaking down Russia's multi-billion-dollar Project Volga chip factory. Coming up next, we are diving deep into the massive hurdle of sourcing semiconductor machinery without Western help and the exact Chinese suppliers stepping in to save the project. Don't go anywhere, because the logistics behind this are wild. Let's look closer at the physical location and the industrial partners making this happen. The massive facility will span roughly 41 hectares within the high-tech industrial hub of the Innopolis Special Economic Zone near Kazan. The site is officially allocated, external engineering infrastructure is approved, and the plans are coordinated with top Russian chip design centers. A network of well-established Russian organizations has been tapped to drive the project forward. Joint stock company Micron, the largest semiconductor manufacturer in the country, is coming on board as the primary technological collaborator to share its direct manufacturing experience. The critical engineering work and technical implementation will be handled by the specialized organization known as NIIME. Meanwhile, a group of top-tier academic institutions will step up to solve the massive workforce problem. The Moscow Institute of Electronic Technology, Kazan National Research Technical University, and Tomsk State University of Control Systems and Radioelectronics will all develop specialized training pipelines. Advanced chip fabrication requires immense human capital, demanding experts in semiconductor physics, lithography, process engineering, and heavy machinery maintenance. Let's be real for a moment. You can build the cleanest, most beautiful clean room in the world, but it means absolutely nothing if you don't have the specialized machines to put inside it. The single hardest part of this entire project is sourcing hundreds of hyper-advanced manufacturing instruments. Creating integrated circuits requires highly specific processes like oxidation, diffusion, ion implantation, chemical vapor deposition, plasma etching, wafer cleaning, metrology, and defect inspection. For decades, the global supply of these specialized tools has been tightly controlled by companies in the United States, Europe, and Japan. Because of the stringent export controls dropped in 2022, Russian chipmakers are completely cut off from those traditional suppliers. While Russia is actively trying to design and build its own domestic manufacturing tools, those programs are still in their infancy. Right now, domestic engineering projects are focusing on tools built for older 130 nanometer and 90 nanometer processes. Realistic estimates show that Russian-made equipment capable of handling lines below 90 nanometers won't be ready until the early 2030s. This brings Moscow to a massive geopolitical crossroads. Given the current global restrictions, Russia has to find an immediate alternative source for semiconductor machinery, and that is where China enters the frame as the only practical savior. China's own semiconductor equipment industry has exploded over the last 10 years, driven by aggressive, state-funded initiatives to cut reliance on Western tech imports. By 2025, domestic Chinese toolmakers managed to supply roughly 35% of the semiconductor machinery used inside China. In multiple categories, like etching and thin film deposition systems, locally built Chinese machinery now accounts for over 40% of new factory installations. Crucially, several top Chinese manufacturers are already building equipment that is fully compatible with 28 nanometer production. Take a look at Nara Technology Group, which has quickly become a dominant force in China's fabrication equipment market. Their advanced oxidation and diffusion systems are heavily used by SMIC, China's largest contract chipmaker, to keep their own 28 nanometer lines running smoothly. Then you have AMEC, which specializes in the highly complex plasma etching systems used throughout chip fabrication. Their hardware is widely deployed across China, and their latest processing platforms are currently undergoing active validation for even more advanced manufacturing nodes. We are deep into the core mechanics of Project Volga here on Altitude Addicts. Still to come, we are looking at the ultimate engineering bottleneck, lithography, along with the jaw-dropping 750 billion ruble price tag of this facility. Keep watching, because the final pieces of this tech puzzle show exactly how the global balance of electronic power is shifting. To expand on the Chinese supply chain, Piotech is another major player, building PECVD systems for critical thin film deposition during fabrication. Their specialized machinery has been steadily growing its footprint inside China's massive NAND flash memory industry, particularly with manufacturers like YMTC. Meanwhile, ACM Research focuses heavily on the highly automated wafer cleansing systems needed to wash away microscopic contaminants. They are currently supplying tools that operate on multiple high-volume 12-inch wafer production lines, running right at the 28 nanometer node. Let's tackle the biggest monster in the room, lithography. This is, without a doubt, the single most complex, painful bottleneck in the entire semiconductor universe. If you can't print the microscopic lines onto the silicon, your multi-billion-dollar factory is basically just an expensive warehouse. Shanghai Microelectronics Equipment, or SMEE, is a Chinese firm working hard to advance immersion DUV lithography tech to support 90-nanometer production. This exact technical foundation is intended to scale up and eventually support 28-nanometer manufacturing down the road. China's equipment industry passed a massive milestone recently by starting real-world evaluations of domestically produced 28-nanometer DUV lithography systems. While Chinese lithography tools aren't ready to go head-to-head with the ultra-advanced extreme ultraviolet systems used for cutting-edge phone chips, they have made massive strides in mature nodes. Deep ultraviolet lithography is more than enough to handle 28 nanometers, which remains one of the most commercially vital mature nodes on Earth. It is the absolute backbone for automotive, industrial, and embedded electronic applications across the globe. Bringing a project like Vulga to life requires a truly staggering amount of capital. Initial project estimates indicate that developing the full 28-nanometer production capability will require an investment of roughly 750 billion rubles. These types of megaprojects always come with incredibly long construction timelines, extreme machinery costs, and months of painful testing before a single commercial chip rolls off the line. These brutal financial realities make the sector pretty unappealing to private investors who want quick returns on their cash. To manage the money and logistics, a dedicated operating company named AO Volga was officially set up to handle construction and future factory management. While the final funding details and implementation checkmarks are being sorted out, the preparatory groundwork at the site has continued moving forward. This entire project is a vital piece of a much larger, sweeping national strategy to completely rebuild Russia's broken semiconductor ecosystem from the ground up. Investment in high-tech manufacturing plummeted across the region following the dissolution of the Soviet Union, leaving a massive structural gap. Since 2022, Russian industrial policy has aggressively shifted to fix this systemic vulnerability. They aren't just trying to build factories. Government-backed initiatives are pouring funds into workforce training, process tech, raw electronic materials, domestic manufacturing tools, and specialized design software. Right now, local engineers are pushing hard to develop completely domestic lithography systems capable of supporting 90-nanometer manufacturing later in this decade. Even though these early Russian systems won't replace imported Chinese tools overnight, they mark the first real step toward reclaiming tech capabilities that were ignored for over 30 years. Let's be completely practical about what Project Volga is actually meant to do. It is absolutely not designed to compete with the bleeding-edge chip fabs in Taiwan or the US that are churning out tiny 3-nanometer processors. Instead, this factory addresses a brutal, immediate need for stable, domestic control over mature semiconductor technologies. If successfully completed, Project Volga will give Russia the independent foundation it needs to build microcontrollers, industrial processors, communication hardware, and vital defense electronics without relying on the West. We thank the people who have liked and shared the videos and subscribed to the channel. We also thank the people who have hyped the videos